They both work, but I turn them down.
Okay. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the heat pit. Is it hot enough in there for everybody? It was really cool this afternoon. I guess as everybody kind of crams in, it starts to get a little bit hotter, so I apologize for that. But everybody crowd around, and hopefully everybody has a water or a drink, and we're going to get started. Okay, so to kind of give you guys a little bit of background, I'll be your MC. My name's Jeffrey Potvin, and I own and run a company called Heartboot Communications, which is a custom software development shop. And we started doing this 10 years ago, which was building software. And in the last few years, we decided that we wanted to jump more into the startup community and start helping and giving back. So in that way of doing that, we started investing into companies, helping companies in the startup realm, and from there that's carried on to us creating a brand which is called OPN, or Open People Network. And at OPN, we've done a lot of great things in the last, I guess, year. I'll say a lot of great things. It seems great, I guess. But what we've been doing is engaging with a lot of the startup community, working with them, helping them with their pitch decks, getting them in front of audiences. And as that started to kind of stem out, we started to get a lot more exciting, I guess, things that were coming out of the engagements we were having with the startup community. And it became quite fun, I guess, for all of us that are working on it. And as we kind of moved through that stream of helping the businesses, we created PitchIt. And PitchIt was a platform for startups to come in, pitch their business, get feedback from advisors, and get audience feedback. Because really, at the end of the day, there's a pretty high % chance that their product's going to get in front of you as a customer. And we thought, well, this could be a fun little way for everybody to engage with their brands and their products. So today, we're on our 13th show. We've run across multiple areas, including Durham, York, inside of other corporations. We've run the product, and now we're actually moving into running PitchIt inside of conferences, which are pretty kind of another cool thing that's come out of this. And what does this all do? It gives exposure to the startups inside of these venues to get in front of lots of people. And really, at the end of the day, who doesn't want to get in front of lots of people and get validation on their product? So our motto is kind of changed and grown over the last year or 8 months. And we want you to spend less time trying to find money and more time growing your company. And we want to be able to kind of help you do that. And some of this has come through in the last year. We've had some great businesses that have stepped up and helped us out along the way. And some of those companies, one being Heartboot, who helps put this together, and the team. So I do want to thank a lot of the people from Heartboot that have come to help us, because they've been integral in kind of orchestrating a lot of this. So let's give them a hand for being awesome. And one of the first companies that we worked with and invested in, which was Flow Water, they've been providing us water since day one, so Flow Water rocks. Thank you, Flow. And we can't thank anybody but the space, so I think you guys all love the space. It's a pretty cool place. And we got to thank the lodge, so Ron and Diane, for being awesome and putting this whole venue together. They're awesome, so thank you guys. And we recently started working a lot closer with Robin and Mario at Symbol, and they've been very intricate in what we're doing and the growth and where we're going with OPN. So we want to thank Robin and Mario from Symbol. Yes. And finally, one of our newest partner businesses that we've been working with, which is helping all the startups on the legal side, getting everything orchestrated and organized, and that's Thompson Miller. So we will obviously welcome them, and we welcome any new sponsors and partners that come into the business as we continue to grow and find ways to kind of help engage with startups and help them as they move forward through the life cycle of being a startup into being a large brand. So Here's some of the things that are coming up in the next little while for you guys to check out. The screen's kind of covering a bit of the TV, but we have on August 12th, we have the conference I was talking about, DYPB, which is the largest personal branding conference. So we'll be running PitchIt there. And we do have access to give you guys tickets, discount tickets, all that good stuff. So there'll be some really cool ways for you guys to try and get into that as well. And then everything from PitchIt York, PitchIt TO. Our next biggest one will be PitchIt City Hall, which was a really great event. We had one in June. Had over 300 people show up, 4 great companies. And we're going to be doing the same thing in September. And I believe we're going to luck out and have the mayor speak. So that'll be kind of cool too. So, and then the rest of the events, we're working at Fireside, which is another awesome conference that's coming up for entrepreneurs. If you guys haven't heard about it, you got to check it out. It's a pretty amazing weekend away for startups. And then a few others that we're working on to kind of keep this going across Canada. So outside that, we'll jump into kind of how this all works for the new people and people that have seen it before. We have 4 companies that pitch. They have 11 minutes to pitch. At the 11th minute, we cut it off. You're done. We're mirroring what happens at an angel event because you're practicing to be in front of angels. We have 4 advisors today. We're changing it up a little bit. And with those 4 advisors, they have 1 minute to pitch their comments back to startup. So it's new to them. They probably haven't seen the companies. They know nothing about them. And the whole idea is that they're giving them hard feedback. Things they may not want to hear and some of the stuff they may want to hear. But it's 1 minute and they cut off. The great thing about this is that the startup doesn't get to say anything. They're going to nod, say thank you, and expect the next point. And the reason being is that we don't want to be here all night having battles of back and forth. But this is why I do this. It's all about the great feedback that's going to help them. And then the last part, which is the best part, is Q&A from you guys. And what we look for from you is some great questions that will help them build their company. So at the end of the day, if someone doesn't make sense, ask the question. Because that's what's going to help them think deeper about what they need to fix and change in the business. So today's advisors, we have Angelo. Where's Angelo? Angelo, come on in, buddy. Yeah, come on in, come on in. So Angelo is a great guy. I believe, Angelo, you were the 2016 Angel of the Year, or is it 2017 and 18?
I'm not sure. It's 16, 17, Angel of the Year.
I love it.
But there was a typo. It should be Angelo of the Year.
I like it, I like it. So Angelo's great. He's part of the York business, or York Angels. A lot of vast experience. So he's a great guy to talk with, but he's also great at giving some good feedback to you guys as the startups work. So we're welcoming Angelo. Yeah, there you go. Our second angel comes from, our second advisor comes from, well, he works with Hardboot, but at the end of the day, Brian carries a vast, huge amount of knowledge, information, and background in business growth and building and selling. He's been through all streams of business, and he provides that strength, which is what we like to drive into helping startups. So, Brian Hewlett. The next advisor is Adam Mitchell. Adam is actually a pretty awesome guy. He's like a ex-kite surfer, traveled the world. He's done a lot of things, including growing a company from a couple advisors to over 50 people and disrupting the whole insurance-based world, which is pretty exciting. So thank you, Adam. And the fourth but not least, Mr. Sean from Tree Frog. Sean is also an angel from York. And Sean, I've known Sean for probably as long as I've known Brian, which is 10, 15 years. We met kind of in that whole startup phase when I started, and I think Sean had already been out in the world working, and we had some really good, deep conversations back then and still do today. So Sean's another great addition to helping you guys out, and we look forward to hearing everything you guys have to say. So thank you for being here. So today we have 4 great startups. We have Hedgehog, Suncare, Candy Cutlery, and Fetchit. And we're going to swap over to the first presentation. And I believe that is Fetch it.
So getting all queued up?
Yeah.
Hi. Hey guys. Doing well, thanks. Couple familiar faces here.
Yeah, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Things moving forward?
Oh yeah.
I'll find out.
Big fan.
You gonna deliver?
Yeah. Do you have a clicky? Thank you.
Make sure.
All right. So thanks everyone for coming out tonight. My name is Matt Carabella. I'm the CEO and co-founder of PitchIt, the app that puts a truck in your pocket. So you've probably found yourself in a situation before. We can all relate. Moving something big and bulky, it's not fun, especially if you don't have the time, a vehicle. And you probably ended up feeling frustrated, exasperated, spent way more money than you wanted to just to get something home, or you missed appointments because it was coming late. So that's on a personal level, but on business, for businesses, we also struggle with the same problems, whether it's getting items from warehouse to store, from store to store, and from, most importantly, store to customer. And that's often a pain point for a lot of people. And so we're looking for ways to make the process easier. And looking at your current options, there's not too many. If you want to get things done fast, you have to either rent the truck yourself, but you never know what the final price is going to be. It's never just $19.99 in fees. Then you have to find somebody to help you, and then you have to gas it up at the end, drive it there and back, and it adds 2 to 3 hours to your day. You can go find some professional help, but there's usually 3-hour minimums to this, and a lot of the times they don't want to do small moves because it's a money loss. It's a loss for them. They want the big jobs that take them a whole day that they can charge $1,000 for. You can ask a friend for help, but you may have run out of favors to ask of friends, and you might be on thin ice with them, or you get into IOU territory, and the schedule isn't always the best. They're only available after work at 6 p.m. Finally, you can go find somebody random on Kijiji or Craigslist, but you never know if they're going to show up, if there's insurance, their accountability. That whole aspect is not accounted for. So Mike and myself, we came up with an idea to connect businesses and people with local pickup truck, cargo van, and box truck drivers to help you move large, bulky things fast and affordably, all through the app. And the process is fairly simple. Unlike a lot of our major competitors, you just take a picture of the item and a description, where it's getting picked up, where it's going to, and at what time you want somebody to come by. And then they just show up. The job is completed. The driver has an app, of course, and he gets notified that there's a job waiting for him. He'll go and do it. After the job is done, you each rate each other, and that affects the jobs in the future, but then the app processes the payment. So currently, looking at the market for transportation, last mile delivery is huge, and it's a problem that a lot of companies are struggling with, and even the big players. They don't know how to do it affordably and quickly. And just right now in Canada, it's a $17 billion industry for the last mile delivery, and 11% of the population is somehow involved in transportation. And going to the States, it's almost $1 trillion. Now, looking at micromoves, local delivery, and garbage removal in Toronto, it's at about $85 million for the markets that we're targeting. And then looking at Vancouver, Montreal, and Ottawa, it's another 185. And then northeastern United States, we're looking at over $1 billion. So the good thing about PitchIt is that we're the first to market. We have no direct competitors in this space. Sure, you can look at a competitor as U-Haul or anybody who's taken away our business, but as it stands, there's no same-day or on-demand direct delivery players. There are some guys in the States, and they're inspiration for us because we see how well the business model is working down there, and it's something to look forward to. And just looking at where they are right now and where we are, I think we're doing quite well in comparing the stages and processes of our company. I mean, we're offering some things that they don't, such as our business suite for our API, so you can incorporate it into checkout, and then companies you don't have to actually download an app. It's just, I want to buy this, and here, let's get it home to you at what time? Between 5 and 6 p.m. tonight? Fine, there you go. So looking at, this is for June, we actually recently raised our prices a little for labor from $1 a minute to $1.50 a minute after the original loading and unloading time is. So the way it works is you get an estimate, which is based off of showing up, the kilometers between A and B, and then 10 minutes of loading and unloading time. Anything greater than that, and surprisingly 85% of our jobs are done within that load 10 minutes because our guys are pros. And anything larger than that, it's usually because it's a condo move, and then you have to kind of make the price more agreeable to what the market rate for moving is. So our current average cost per job is $100, and that's across all 3 vehicle types: pickup trucks, cargo vans, and box trucks. So base fees are $39, $59, and $99, and we take an 18% cut of the final fee. And for that 18%, we provide dispatch service, tracking, fast ability to translate jobs for the drivers, as well as business partnerships, which a lot of these drivers can't get on their own, but they need the name to kind of go behind, so we provide that. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we have the product for large items, but there's more pieces of the puzzle. Why can't a minivan be involved as well, or a regular car? Why can't we utilize those things as well for smaller packages? Keep them local in zones and dispatch that way, as opposed to having an oversupply of vehicles and then hoping that somebody picks it up. That's our problem to figure out, and it's a fun one to deal with. So we currently have over 20 business partnerships. We have a pilot going on with a major secondhand retailer. Actually, and technically not supposed to say that we're partnered with them yet. We're working with furniture companies, home stagers, real estate agents, art galleries are using us to ship big paintings around, which is, if you go to UPS, you enter the dimensions and it's $500 to get something a couple blocks away just because it's this wide and that tall. We just need to throw it in the back of a truck, right? We have over 220 active drivers, over 1,600 users, and we're developing our business dashboard right now, just waiting on a couple loose ends. And so how did we go around and get all these customers? Well, we actually started as a B2C company. We didn't listen to anybody who said, B2C is not the way to go in Canada. You're not going to get the funding. We're like, no, it's going to go viral. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so we realized in January and February, when everything kind of bottomed out and people started hibernating and not buying anything, that, we got to really go after the B2B companies, get them on board, and, find customers who are going to use you 10 to 15 times a month as opposed to 2 to 3 times a year. So now what we do for our business partners, we monitor sales. Okay, what companies are using us? Call them, ask for referrals, get in-person meetings, and try and figure out how we can best incorporate our services with what they need to offer their clients or what they need to use us for. And that's why we have such a huge variety of customers, and we're always finding businesses who will call us up to get something delivered, and we're like, I never would have thought work with a bread company getting their big bowl mixers serviced in Markham, so fun stuff like that always pops up. And we've identified a couple of market segments that we're going after right now. We're providing decent returns for us. Financial projections. We have a 1 in 6 conversion rate right now, but going forward and focusing on the B2B partnerships, we should see that increase, especially because businesses use you more. You have a higher recurring rate of return for the customers. We're implementing a referral system and loyalty points to kind of keep people using it again and again. And basically, we're looking for $400,000 to acquire some more talent, user acquisition and growth strategies. We have a lot of cool ideas that we're itching to try out. We know that to develop them. Strategic partner integration. So, for example, when the pilot store expands to the other 42 stores in Toronto, we want to outfit it with banners and flyers and all that stuff. Costs money. And finally, ongoing design and development. We have 4 apps to deal with, basically. It's a user and a driver app for Apple and Android, as well as the website and the back end. So it's a lot of work, much more work than I thought when we started. And as a CEO, I'm supported by an excellent team. Mike Barch ran the direct delivery company for the 6 years prior to this, and we kind of it's his idea, and we put it online. And Samir Bagic, who's our CTO, he's got 2 tech startups behind him. One's been acquired and one's still running in the background. We're also part of iCube, UTM, Haltech, and DMZ, and we get some excellent legal help and professional help whenever we need it. We have a great group of advisors there who provide us direction and nudge us back in the right direction when we stray too far. And that's basically PitchIt. We're revolutionizing direct delivery by using crowdsourced vehicles, empty vehicles that are on the road, and taking, reducing the time required and the strain on, I don't know, whatever. It's making it easier to move big things from A to B. Thanks.
No, you can stay here. I'm going to... Angelo, you get to kick it off.
All right. Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Pretty good.
All right. Hot enough?
Yeah, but I'm not supposed to say anything.
Right. No, that was just a preamble. So I want to give you some of my thoughts. We met quite a while ago, and I'm actually, I really like the progress that you've made. So kudos to that. I do think you have an opportunity that you're sitting on. A few of the things that I'd like to sort of highlight. I like your pivot from the B2C to the B2B. This is much, much more attractive right now. I think that you are making progress. The one thing that I think in your pitch that you should identify is what is your customer acquisition cost? How long does it take you? How much money does it cost a new customer? And realize the benefits in income and growth. Also, on your ask, you asked for 400K in terms of equity commitment from an investor. You also need to touch on, well, what's your valuation? Where do you see you as the return on that 400K equity? So concentrate on those things, and I'm glad to see that you're following Jeffrey's mantra of chase the customer instead of chasing money. All right, so you've done a good job there. Thank you. Thanks.
A lot of information in there, for sure. You've got, I love the utility in terms of how you lay out the value proposition around the company. I think if you can craft it into a use case kind of story that highly personalizes it on a consumer basis, I think that flows really well. But I think you've got all of the constituent parts to that story, and I think it would help you flow and stay a little more on target with your points. Angelo stole one of mine, so I'll go to a backup. You asked for 400K. I was going to say, hey, what do I get for 400K? But I think it would be helpful in terms of, okay, you did discuss use of proceeds and what your ask was, 400K, but lay that out. What does that look like in the life of the business? And what milestones do you achieve with that 400K? So not just in percentage basis, like I'm going to put this to marketing, I'm going to put this to resourcing. It's about 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. The other thing I'd consider you thinking about is your raise amount. What people are going to want to see, because there's an old story in the investment world, if you've only got 6 months worth of money, you're already out of business, right? So you want to make sure you ask for enough. You want to balance that, obviously, with what you're going to have to give up on an equity, because you will spend whatever they give you, but have it planned out and make it visual, and they can see how that money is being dispersed and to what purpose.
I thought that was really good. I've already got 6 things you can come move shortly when I get home. So I'm a customer. That's got to speak volumes. I wrote down a few things. I'd love to hear the background on the risk management. So when the piano gets dropped, the art gets broken, the load stolen, and the person's uninsured, how is that not pinned back on you? And how do you guys manage that in the cargo liability? I'd be curious what your unfair advantage is and how someone else in the room can't come and steal it, right? I'd want to know why you. I'm curious on the job profitability, sort of the 80-20 rule of which ones are really boiling out to be great for you guys, and you might get that out of your business dashboard you're building. The other one is the contractor acquisition story or strategy, as far as how do you go after them and how do you make PitchIt the best place for them to work beyond just you have some customers. So there's probably a lot of values you can add to it that you may or may not have hit on yet, and things that you can group by for the contractors to make it so they couldn't compete on their own without you as well.
It's not fair that I go fourth after these smart people because all of my points are already there. Yeah, but honestly, all of these points are relevant. One is, this is a great deck. I mean, seriously, it's really polished and really nice. Honestly, it's fantastic. I'm very impressed with the idea. I'm really impressed that you pivoted and you have that sort of, I tried it, I had this idea, It didn't work out, so I'm willing to try something else. Honestly, every investor, everybody, I'm like, yeah, go, guy. I mean, like, what next? What are you going to try next? I can't wait to see that. That's awesome. I'm super scared about the liability aspect because I saw a pitch yesterday to a group of investors, and they're talking about moving $7 million things. And I'm like, dude, one broken thing, and there's a lot of $400,000 is in $7 million, and that's not only you're out of business, but everybody you know is bankrupt. So that scares the crap out of me. I'd love to see. I want to see how do you handle that? And also, I don't have a sense of scale. So like Uber, like everybody's taking a cab constantly, but how often does one move something? So how many moves happen? Every day? Because I can't remember the last time. Like you may have 4 things to move, but I don't have anything to move. I don't. So how often would I move something? When would I move it, etc.? Would you move a human being? I don't know, because that's just Uber, right? Yeah. I'm really proud you. You don't even use. Okay, yeah, that's good. However, there is sort of this Uber effect happening. I'm really proud that you didn't say the Uber of moving stuff. I just want to smack myself when I hear that now. But honestly, the Uber's getting a lot of bad press, a lot of problems, and suddenly in the next year, everyone's going to be asking, so how are you going to fight off all the moving companies who are all going to be beating you with sticks because the cab drivers went after Uber? So who's going to protect you? Because you get pulled down behind them. So as an investor, I'm looking at that going, okay, maybe this Uber thing is scary, actually. It's brilliant, but it's scary. Do I want to put money in it? Is it going to be a billion-dollar idea? So that's my feedback, all same. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Now we're going to turn it over to the audience, and we will let Matthew speak. Okay, anybody have any questions? All right, here you go.
So out of 1,600 active users, you
Yep.
said, how many have actually reordered? That's my first question. So
300.
300 have reordered.
Yes, of the users have used us.
Okay. And what's your average cost per acquisition for each of those customers?
I mean, we've spent zero money on marketing, so technically $0. But if I was going to estimate,
Yeah.
and we're not going after I told my mom not to call today. If we were going to go after the B2C crowd, I would guess $30 per customer, but the lifetime value of that customer is about $300. Looking at the businesses, which is where we're going at now, it's all about phone calls. As many phone calls as I can make and turn around. I have a pretty high close rate, and then it depends on the business. So a medium furniture store would use you 2 times every 2 days to do a delivery. And so you're looking at 15 times a month. And if the average job for a furniture store is coming out close to $100 because it's a very niche kind of delivery, then you can go figure out the average lifetime or the lifetime value of that business. It's quite high. And all it required was a phone call from me and a referral from somebody, one of their friends who had used them. So right now, the way we get most of our customers are word of mouth. And then I see that someone has used them and I phone all their friends. I say, hey, anybody else who you could recommend us to go after? And they just love the service because, 5-star white glove kind of stuff. And so it's an easy sell.
So your niche is now B2C, not C2C.
No. Our niche is now B2B. So I know you, for example, would use PitchIt 2 or 3 times a year, max. So we need to go to the businesses who use you 10 to 15 times a month.
Kind of offsetting the courier style, like the bike maybe and whatever else.
Yeah, and it's not courier, it's direct, right? So your stuff isn't traveling around Toronto the whole day and coming between, 2 and 4 p.m. at the end of the day. Oh yeah, the liability part, we have an umbrella insurance which covers our drivers as well and the cargo that's being moved. So there are obviously, we can buy more insurance, but we have enough to keep us aground and keep us safe for the most common cases where something gets broken, for example, we can replace it. And actually by law, you have to insure items up $4.41 per kilogram. You can't not have that insurance.
What's the maximum insurance value?
Up to $100,000 per shipment, but the insurance is the first time it's done for an independent contractors like we have. So they're assuming that we have 53-foot trucks full of equipment, whereas really The maximum value we would ship is of $5,000 around. Yeah.
Any other questions? Yep.
So, as I understand, right now you're working local, right? Here
Yeah.
in Toronto.
Yeah.
So, and you're asking for $400,000, and I'm just curious, how big you think you're going to be after getting this money, and in what amount of time?
Yeah, difficult question, and unfortunately, it would be beautiful to go across Canada and be in every little city because so many people can benefit this, but we're really limited to cities with populations greater than 1 million and population density of 1,000 people per kilometer squared. And so that kind of narrows down where you can expand to in Canada. And then going into the States, of course, it's much more lucrative. You can look at places with 4 million population and 4,000 people per kilometer squared. And you look at Minnesota, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Chicago, like these places close to Toronto. And you can really, once you have the playbook for Toronto all set up, then we kind of expand and we jump to those cities. And there's interesting ways to get into the States. For example, we partner with a trucking or a local shipping company there, and you basically give them Fetch It on a platter and be like, here, start using it and get customers this way. Well, that's our entrance into the States.
One last question. All right, I have a question for you.
All right.
How many times have you turned away business?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the business you're turning away? And could that be a potential opportunity as a side project? Maybe not for you guys, but for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because you keep having some reoccurring things come up and you're like, we can't do that, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Man, there's something here.
There's not too many of it, but commercial-sized fridges and pianos and pool tables, we just don't touch. We always tell them, look, we're glad you came to us first, but you really need to go with professionals who know how to move a pool table with inch-thick slab of slate underneath it, right? It's something that our guys... Oh, and another thing is Fetch It comes with one guy and a truck. We can arrange for a second guy to come and help, but the main offering is one guy in a truck because a guy with a dolly or a hand truck is just as useful as two people without any hand truck or dolly. Pardon?
Why don't you sub it to them?
Summit?
Subcontract those professionals.
Yeah.
You own the client.
I mean, yeah, we can go that way too, but I feel like right now if we're biting off too much more than we can handle, so we're kind of like, let's focus on our main offering. And, once we build up our network of drivers, sure, we have some movers right now who do office moves too, and people call us for office moves like, all right, we can sell it, and we'll do like a 10% fee or something like this. But for pianos, I don't have a list of background check piano movers on file yet, but once they do.
One company that sells stuff.
Yeah.
Sell them a lead.
Exactly. Lead selling and referral.
Yeah.
The best thing there, though, I think that we have out of that is focus. And the second thing is find that one company and send a lead over and make some money.
Yeah.
So focus. All right, man. Thank you. That was awesome. Okay. The next group that's up is Kevin from Hedgehog.
Hey everyone. Hi. I'm Kevin. I'm from Hedgehog Products, and we're building the last umbrella you'll ever buy. The problem I'm trying to solve is very simple. Umbrellas break. How many people here has broken an umbrella sometime in their life? Did you know the average consumer breaks over 24 umbrellas over the course of lifetime? And I'm no exception. I used to live in Vancouver, the raining capital of the country. In Vancouver, it literally rains 10 months of the year. So much that if you want to stay dry, you better carry an umbrella with you at all times. During my 5 years of living in Vancouver, I actually went through countless umbrellas, breaking them every way, shape, or form. Whether the stem was weak and simply snapped on me, or even just from a small gust of wind, I'll flip your umbrella inside out. This is not my umbrella, but see how easy it flips inside out. All it takes is one small flick. Oh crap, it broke. That's all it takes to break an umbrella. And that's the most common way to break. Now, over 1 billion umbrellas are broken every single year. On a planet of roughly only 7 billion people, that's a lot of broken umbrellas. Now this is where our solution comes in. We create the perfect blend of strength, style, and convenience, building a very portable umbrella with a lot of innovation in our product to make it very durable and robust. We also incorporate a wide range of styles in order to make the umbrella very versatile and very beautiful, including a fully interchangeable canopy, such you can swap from any color, pattern, and design. And we made it very convenient to carry around and almost impossible to lose. Now, one of our core technologies is our WindFlex suspension system. Think of kind of the suspension system in your car, like how when you drive along a very bumpy road, your shocks will kind of deviate all the little potholes and bumps, so it gives you a lot smoother ride. How this works is every single one of our ribs in our umbrella independently pivots. So basically it prevents you from flipping inside out from a gust of wind. Better yet, let's actually see this in action. On the left you see a conventional umbrella. You see that it flips inside out from a small gust of wind. On the right, you actually see our umbrella, equipped with a WindFlex suspension system. No matter what type of wind is interacting with the umbrella, it's impossible to flip inside out. And this technology is patent pending. So what's the demand like for an umbrella like ours? We launched our product onto Kickstarter. We have over 1,200 umbrellas already pre-ordered across 900 different customers. 80% of our Kickstarter backers have never paid more than $40 ever for a product, probably pay more than double that for ours. The main reason for buying our product, the guarantee of durability, wind-resistant technology, and the promise of an umbrella that will last forever. And even the press is raving about our products. Huffington Post calls our umbrella the incredible Hulk of the umbrella universe. And Gizmac says it to be the last and best umbrella you'll ever buy. And so what's the market like for umbrellas? In North America alone, it's a $380 million market. Globally, this is a $5 billion market. You have areas in Southeast Asia that face typhoon seasons who are in dire need of this product. Now, umbrellas are not new age technology. Umbrellas have been around for centuries. As such, there's been a lot of new innovations to make an umbrella more wind resistant and more durable, whether changing the shape of the canopy and making it more aerodynamic, or even making the umbrella to be a wearable. However, none of these products has found much commercial success because they strayed away from a conventional umbrella design. People want to use an umbrella that looks like an umbrella. Think of the Segway. The Segway was an engineering marvel. However, it never was really truly adapted in the market because it was socially embarrassing to be riding a Segway. That's the same with some of these more wind-resistant umbrellas. And that's where our umbrella blends in. We incorporate our core technologies, we make a truly beautiful product that people can use and love. So what's the sales like for umbrellas, like such as ours? We have over 120,000 pre-order sales to date over the past 18 months. We have another 100,000 in LOIs, basically with high-end retail partners and also with major brands. And we project over $500,000 by the end of the year. And we sell our umbrellas for $99 a piece with a healthy margin of 65%. It's a lot better than buying $10 umbrellas that may break over time. And for the fully interchangeable canopy system, we sell these for $12 each with a healthy 70% margin. Now, for our go-to market, we're planning to begin with the online retail market, starting in North America where 70% of our pre-orders are based. We're going to be marketing primarily online, selling through channels as Amazon, as well as working with one major retail partner, currently in a white label partnership. In the midterm, we'll be actually launching in other markets as well too, including Asia, UK, and Japan. Also, we'll be building other umbrella models, such as a full stick size umbrella, and also incorporate Bluetooth technology, such that you'll never lose your umbrella. So it'll be never broken, never lost. And finally, we want to make our suspension system, our WindFlex technology, dominant in almost every single umbrella out there, such that you never have to have umbrella flip inside out. And not only that, with our interchangeable canopy system, we'll be creating a canvas library such that even you or anybody else can design your own canopy with whatever pattern, whatever design you like. And we have a whole bunch of press raving about our product. We have over 50 publications during a Kickstarter launch, basically just saying how amazing our umbrella, how durable it is. We have a whole bunch of press ready to embargo as we launch our products into market in mid-August. We also have a whole bunch of influencers that can't wait to try our product. And long term, we're also not only planning to do social media online ads, but also do physical ads as well too. With umbrellas, right now we're starting basically a whole bunch of ad campaigns and bus stop ads, SkyTrain station, and subway ads. And not only that, we're also doing a Trash the Past campaign where if you break your umbrella, take a picture of it, we'll send you one of ours. And we have the team to do this. Me and my co-founder, Kay, we're both mechanical engineers with over 20 years of product development experience in the automotive field. We worked at companies like GM, Daimler, and we even worked on high-end performance race cars. And we have a strong advisory team from sales to marketing to hardware design. And we're supported by great organizations such as Velocity, Accelerator Center, Commuter Tech, and OCE. And we built the company to what it is with a lot of heart and a lot of hustle. With a small amount of funding, we brought this umbrella from concept to production-ready product. With only pre-order funding and grants, we've been able to bring this to a fully production-ready and also have 2 patents in our first pilot run. Now we're asking for $300K for 20% equity. 70% of this money will be dedicated towards inventory and go-to-market strategies, and also securing IP for the future. We're Hedgehog Products, and we're building the last umbrella you'll ever buy.
Okay, that was great. We'll start on this end, Sean.
I thought I was going to go last. And so I had time to think about this. Amazing presentation. I think one day people are going to call you the umbrella guru. I'm actually, so you're looking for money, but you've already raised some money and you've gone to Kickstarter. You got 120 through Kickstarter? Clarifying questions? Oh, no, I suck. Sorry. Right. So again, great presentation. I think an investor is very interested. Although one question I'd have as an investor is if you went to Kickstarter and only put one Kickstarter out, why haven't you done 5 Kickstarters to just keep on rolling new versions, new things, and try to crowdsource all the money, and why you're looking for specific investment? So you haven't clarified what the timing is and why it's important to get money now from a group of investors versus just bootstrap the hell out of this puppy, because it seems like it would go that way. Other than that, I think it is a genius idea. You're talking about adding Bluetooth and stuff, and quite honestly, I'm like, okay, are you pushing it a little bit too far? Have you market tested that? Have you shown that people are interested in that? I'm not sure I believe that you're just sort of pulling my investor strings to go, ooh, it's cool and technology friendly, as opposed to it's a real device that people are going to care about. So, other than that, great presentation, loved it. Thanks.
I was going to ask you a question until the mic walked by, and then I'm not going to this side. I'd be curious, I don't know if you touched on it and I missed it, what the warranty or the guarantee is on the last umbrella we ever had. I'd be curious on some of the details. This might be geeking out, but the utility patent and how much it actually covers versus another large company being able to sneak in there. And I'd be curious if you've looked at the license model versus you're controlling end-to-end here, which I think is noble, but I'd be curious on the numbers if there's any other big players in the space.
I thought the personality that you put into it and the personification of the use case, when you talked about your experience in Vancouver, it's really engaging. It brings people into your story. It's probably been one of the most effective demonstrations from a startup that I've seen around the product demo side of things. You've got a sample there that shows its uniqueness and its differentiation. You also had some supporting video with testing there. That's very compelling. It's a lot of things that people overlook is product demo. I would have liked to have heard your cost of goods or your unit costs. So that was kind of absent. So that's as I'm working through my head and trying to work out, what your financials look like, then, I've got to do the math. As opposed to saying, okay, you're selling it for $99 and here's your unit cost. You also didn't speak to your supply chain or your manufacturing.
And he didn't say it verbally, right? So he's in line with the rules, right?
I like it. Bend the rules.
So a lot of touched on some of my points. I do want to give you some feedback on what you're doing. I really like what you're doing. I like the several avenues that you're going. You're going direct, and more importantly, you're going down the white label path that could really raise some interest and probably ease the cost and the burden on your side in capturing your customer base. I also like the one-time cost and the potential for recurring revenues by integrating new canopies onto an existing umbrella. Sometimes you want to develop a product that has a limited life cycle so that they'll buy a new product, but you've thought of that by going down the path of this will last forever, but as your tastes change, you can change it with a different canopy. So I like that model. You might, the question I have is what Sean touched on. Why do you need the investment money? You're doing so well. Why not continue on the organic growth that you have? Look at other opportunities like the home shopping venue to really get one of those influencers on that program, and you could really accelerate sales in a very short period of time. Another area, well, two more points, if bear with me. My wife is from Hong Kong, so she's Asian, and you'll see her with an umbrella quite a bit. Not when it's raining, but when it's actually sunny. So have you looked at that? Building out a companion market targeted to specifically the Asian marketplace that's not focused on the wind necessarily, but focused on sun protection. And the only point that I had was it wasn't clear to me the connection between the name and the product. I don't know. When I think of an umbrella, I don't think of a hedgehog, but that's just me.
Okay, perfect. Some great feedback. Any questions from the audience?
Thank you for the great presentation. I just have one question. How long does it take you to fulfill the orders? So if I pay you money today, when do I get the stuff?
Right now, we're going through our first production run right now in China. So my co-founder is actually there in Shenzhen right now, going through quality of all the different parts. So we will actually be shipping products in 3 weeks.
Anybody else?
Do you have a different pricing model in different markets, or it's just same across the whole world?
So right now, our prices have shown to be very effective across all around the world. So of our 1,200 umbrellas sold, 70% was actually in North America, but the remaining 30% was all international around the world. So we have found that customers were very receptive to the pricing that we have shown.
Any other questions? Yep. You guys are a tame crowd. Come on.
That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
I just wanted to know if, in your future outlook, are you looking to expand on the product line, or is it just a product that? Because I heard one of the comments from the advisors, which was very valuable in terms of looking at the licensing option. So I was just curious whether or not you have this is a brand that we want to kind of expand into a 20, 30 SKU product line, or is it just the umbrella?
So right now, we are basically, with our core technology is our suspension system, kind of built in to make it very wind resistant. We plan to incorporate this same core technology in other umbrellas as well too. A full-size stick umbrella, golf umbrellas, beach umbrellas, patio umbrellas.
Awesome. Any last questions? Sean?
Why don't you put a piece of technology on it that makes the suggestion of it's going to rain today and then beeps on you on your way out the door so that you pick it up before you leave?
With smart umbrellas, I do get that question a lot. Why don't you make an umbrella smart umbrella? with the common theme of how you find out your weather. You usually find out your phone through a weather app. Umbrellas, we want to keep it simplified. Umbrellas are meant to cover you from rain, and we want to keep that core principle there. Basically, no matter what the weather, no matter the conditions outside, we'll protect you from the rain and protect you from the wind.
Damn good focus. All right, that's awesome. Thank you. Okay, we're going to try something a little different here for the last, before we go into the next pitch. How many people in here are from another startup or they have their own startup? Including the guy in the front. Guys in the front. But that's good. Okay, how many? Sorry, keep your hands. I didn't see that. Very cool. So what we want to do is, you're pitching, Lynn. You can't put your hand up. What we're going to do is, we're always about at OPN and at PitchIt, we want to give other people exposure just quickly. So what I'm going to do is, I want to pick 3 people. So if you guys can pick your hand up, you're going to have 30 seconds to come up, say who you are, meaning your name of your company, and what you do. And at 30 seconds, I'm going to hack you off. So I need 30 seconds. So 1, 2, and 3. So one at a time, you can come up, 30 seconds. There you go.
All right, thanks, Jeffrey. So my name is David, and we created an event discovery application using artificial intelligence to suggest to you personalized recommendations on events and opportunities that you wouldn't want to miss out. Because the reality is you're missing out on opportunities right now, or maybe you're looking for events just like this somewhere else. So we have patent pending algorithms that actually, based off of your interests and based off of your availability, we give you suggestions every day. So check us out, Socero.com, SOCERO.com. Thanks.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, you guys are up next.
So, hi everyone, my name is Ricard. I'm part of a startup called Spit Strips. So we're developing a product that measures your blood alcohol content based on your saliva. So it's just a strip, you put it on your tongue for a couple of seconds, leave it for 1 to 2 minutes, and then it changes color based on a scale provided, and it tells you your blood alcohol concentration. It's actually more accurate than a breathalyzer, and we'll be selling them for approximately $1. That's our plan. So practical, portable, cheaper, more accurate. What more could you want, right? So Spit Strips. So you can check us out.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Awesome.
Hey, I'm Alex. Who wants to make some money? Raise your hand up. Who knows what sports betting is? Raise your hand up. We connect people that want to make some money on sports betting with people that provide betting advice. These are called tipsters. Our service is called Vangify. You can find us at vangify.com, and let's make some money.
Are you the mob?
No.
Okay.
Okay, that was awesome. All right, I think we're going to try that next time, too. That was kind of fun. It gives other people some exposure, so why not? I like it. All right, so the next up is our third pitch, and Lynn, Candy Cutlery.
Thank you, Jeff. Hello, 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 hello. Testing, testing. All right, so I know I'm the second last pitch of the day, so how's everybody doing tonight? Good? Woo! Okay, how many people are in the room? Like 50? Or doesn't sound like 50. Can I get that again? How are you guys tonight? Woo! All right, awesome. So I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Lynn. I am the chief cheerleader and co-founder of Tough Candy Inc. So Tough stands for tasty, unique, and fun. And in one sentence, our company creates innovative food products, as well as using food marketing. We promote other brands through sustainable practices. So our first line of products is called Candy Cutlery, and it's for life's sweetest moments. And I'll go into that soon. But I just wanted to paint a picture for you guys before I begin. So I want you to imagine you're eating the best bowl of ice cream ever at Menchie's or something. And, you know, the bowl is recyclable. And so once you're done, you throw it away. And afterwards, you're left with a spoon. I have a fork. Shout out to the guy who got me a fork instead of a spoon. But it's, you know, we're going to pretend this is a spoon. And then what do you do with the spoon, this plastic spoon, before you throw it, to the landfill. And this really ruins our planet. So pictures represent 1,000 words. Behind me that really represent what we're doing. From the birds in the sky to animals in the sea as drinking water, it's a huge problem and it's everywhere. Now we're in a room full of people who love numbers. So number-wise, 5 trillion plastic bags, 26 billion plastic bottles, and over 40 billion plastic utensils are thrown into our landfills each and every year on an annual and global level. So although this is a problem, this also creates an opportunity. What if you can eat your utensils? You can eat these products and not create any waste. So that's where we come in with a solution called Candy Cutlery. We currently produce edible vegan spoons and shot glasses that are eco-friendly, inclusive, and delicious. Visually, we have the candy spoon. We started off with that. We're planning for patent pending for the design, and then we also have candy shot glasses and talkie bears in order to fulfill the needs of different industries. For example, for shot glasses, your bachelorette party. For candy spoons, a typical dessert adventure with your kids, or even or by yourself, and talkie bears for the everyday consumer. So what is the opportunity here? Well, currently in North America alone, there's a $12 billion US dollar market for the confectionery market. And of that, 1 billion derived into the boiled sweets category. So that's just hard candy alone. And we believe that we are able to capture $20 million of this industry. So how do we make money? Well, we started off with some market validation, and we realized that B2B was not the way to go. We believe that B2C, with a combination of B2C and B2B, we're able to create more awareness for the product and use that as self-promotion. So we just recently launched our e-commerce called candycutlery.com. We sell products at a premium for $8 to $16 per order, and it's available worldwide. As for B2B catering, we're focused on Toronto right now with different partners such as Epicator, Platters, as well as Ben & Jerry's. And so we're able to offer our products as more of a, I would say, accessory. So accessory for your liquor, accessory for your ice cream. And so when you're ordering anything from us, you'll be getting everything on one bill. So for that, it's $4.50 to $10 per guest. As for partnerships, we're looking at hotel chains such as Four Seasons, as well as ice cream chains such as Unilever, who we're already partners with, as well as lifestyle brands that promote veganism, eco-friendliness, etc., such as subscription boxes, apparel, etc. In terms of innovation, new products, that's another strategy. We plan to move faster to release. I feel like this a lot of people focused on one product, but that product focuses on one industry. I feel like we can use our products in places because candy is an easy thing to do. We just pop it in the mold. Also I missed it, but we're actually working on the edible stir stick right now. We're not the only one in the edible utensil market. There's also Lolly US, the US as well as with that, there's also EcoTensile, which creates eco-friendly utensils made out of paper, but it's not as ergonomic. It doesn't taste delicious, and it's off. What we do because life versus the other competitors, as well as the fact that change it in any flavor. So meet the team. My name is Lynn. As I said, I'm the head cheerleader. So what I do is I make sure my team is happy. I make sure the customers are happy, and I make sure our partners are happy. As for our other, Queen's Economics, my teammates Leanne, she worked for Mondelez, McDonald's, etc. for product. She's a food scientist. She has a minor in marketing. He's at McGill University for management, finance based, as well as operations, and has a background also in computer science. So timeline-wise, how do we get started? Well, we were at a lovely competition called the Y2 for high school students. I was 17 when I came home from school, and I was holding, I went on my munchies run because I was like, oh, you know what, you did well on that exam, might as well go for a treat. And I remember leaving that plastic spoon on the counter, and my mom, being super eco-conscious and being Asian, she wanted to keep that spoon for me. So she started washing. Like, Mom, why are you washing the plastic spoon? She was like, you know what, save the environment, you can use it again. And I realized through research that, the plastic, the BPA, is so bad for you. And so, over 93% of the people in the US have BPA, are BPA positive, so that's really, really bad. And so with that problem, I want to create something that people could eat, can enjoy, and share their best moments with. So that's where we started. We went on to win the Ideator Business Plan competition. We went to CNE for validation. We got press releases from Toronto Star. We went to a few others. Launchpad Filming. It's a TV show that's going to air in November, kind of like a mini Dragon's Den for free marketing. We grew our team from 4 to 16 people, and that's because I'm a student. And in terms of manufacturing, we acquired manufacturing after we bootstrapped from 0 just for going. And our manufacturers are all in place, and they're in Collingwood. In terms of e-commerce, we just launched it right after we had a Ben & Jerry's partnership, so there's a lot to work with, and our Kickstarter is already set up. So with that being said, our partner, Rolling Desserts Inc., is going to be buying products directly from us in all of Canada, and so they've already offered 1 million free hits directed to that Kickstarter. E-commerce is going to be up and running with paid ads soon, so that'll be very interesting. In terms of the months, we are going to CNE 2017 this year to continue promoting our e-commerce. We're going to be at the Trend Hunter Future Party, so they're going to have 30 million views per month on their website for free, because I'm a student. And then we're going to be using all those promos to go to our Halloween and holiday promotions, and then a Longo's purchasing party that we've been invited to. So that would be really, really exciting. Our 3-year plan, first year, brand introduction, then it's about scaling up, and then sustainability and continue. It's just mostly establishing those first connections, as well as for legal protection digital marketing. We focus on legal protection right now because it's already something that we've been already handling with for free because I'm a student. And after that, we're going to be looking into long-term partnerships. We've offered catering as a new revenue stream, so we would like to meet the demands that way by bringing in the right staff. We would like to innovate our products and be sustainable in year 3 with eco-friendly credentials such as B Corp. So financial protection-wise, we're looking at $38,000 this year because we're just focused in Canada. And then after that, once we expand in all of North America, we would like to hit that $500K goal in year 3. So the ask today is $100K, and that breakdown is 45% marketing, 30% in overhead expenses, and then 25% in payroll. So if you'd like to chat, we can talk about it later, and I would love any feedback. So you guys will be getting 10% off using the promo code PitchIt TO. This is for the first 50 people on candycolor.com. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. How about we start with Brian this time?
Definitely very cheerleading. And you know what? The passion for the product is very important. I commend you for that. Some of the things that I noted, singular value proposition. Story, you started with an environmental side of things. Then we got into market sizing. You said $1 billion, but you were using numbers that were out of the confectionery market. So is it, what's positioning for the product? You clarify and simplify that, not confuse it too much. And then you went back to disposables and other edible competitors when you went to your matrix. So you got to pick one, is my point. I think a hive of activity, and you're out there getting the word. I did see a disconnect. I didn't make a connection between some impressive work that you've done in promotion and partnerships like Ben & Jerry's. That's a big brand. I didn't see how that connected to your growth strategy or your numbers. It wasn't well explained. So what does Ben & Jerry's get you from a business execution standpoint? Or similarly, is that tied to the most recent distribution deal that you did? So those would be my significant comments.
It's pretty cool. I think there's some good points. See, at Ben & Jerry's, I'd lay into that one a little more. It's a significant feat. When you said stir sticks, I immediately started thinking about flavor and wondering if you could get enough stirs out of it to mix the milk while making that the sugar component. I think the cool factor would go up. I was curious about straws and if you can keep that together while still adding to drinks. So you mentioned there's a lot of products you want to release. I'd be curious what those future pieces are. The one that never got out of my head the whole time, how do you, to your legal defense, how do you block competitors? How do you stop reverse engineering and go Collingwood manufacturer? And what's the return on the 100K? So I saw what you're going to do with it. What does that have an effect on business?
So I love your business. I've seen it a number of times, as you know, on Idea Labs, on all sorts of things. Almost unfair that I'm. The things that I would say is, A, the presentation's gotten much better. It's not getting better, so congratulations on that. And I love the idea that one of the things is you've gotten away from sort of, I'm a kid and I started a small business and now I'm thinking out this idea. I love that you've dropped that because you're competing with not just adults in quotations, you're competing with serious business here. Ben & Jerry's is serious. So every time you say things like, I'm a student and it was free, just start dropping that. Past that now. You totally did. You had no, and started young, all that stuff. And honestly, nobody cares. I'm like, ooh, I want to see you be insanely successful. I want you to make $1 billion at this. As that leads to my last point, honestly, think bigger. Like $500,000 in years. I want you to make $500,000 next month. Look, that's only between your ears, and you're perfectly capable of figuring that out. So Ben & Jerry's will spend $500,000 without even breaking a sweat. So start thinking big. Like, where could this be? What could you do? What if every single spoon used by every human being ever was a sugar spoon that you made? And what do you got to do that? And also, one of my only last worries is, given that you've gotten so many pitches and you're so good at this, but you're taking time to do this. So every time you pitch and every time you're in front, so how can you move it forward faster? So I'd love to talk to you at some point about that.
Hi, Lynn. I've seen you several times, and I'm amazed. Your pitch has evolved quite a bit, so kudos to you. The only disappointment I had is I didn't get a sample spoon this time, but we'll talk. I really like how far you've come along in terms of your product mix, that it's beyond the spoons now, and that you have a vision of even going beyond the 4 or 5 that you've listed. So leverage on that, expand on it, that get to Sean's point, this business can grow not only from one product, but many products, and in many different areas. So you have a good product mix and strategy. Your team has grown amazingly, so kudos to you. One thing that I would suggest on the Ben & Jerry's hit, leverage it. What would even be great is have them provide a one-liner to you that you can put into your pitch that says, Ben & Jerry love it so much, this is what they say. That will go a long way as you reach out to other large organizations like Ben & Jerry's. And the other thing that was touched on, what do I get if I put in 100K, right? How quick can I get not only my money back, but 10 times my money, because I have so much confidence in your business and your ability. So think about those things. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, questions? Okay.
Hi.
Hi,
Sorry, what's your name?
my name is Lynn.
Lynn, you did a phenomenal job.
Thank you so much.
And I agree with everything that they said. Use Ben and leverage.
So, yeah, what do I get for 100K?
Right. So I'm not very experienced within investment world, and Jeff knows that because I've been messaging about like what do I do? And in terms of ask, I think I wanted to say 100K for 16.5% of the company equity. But I've been learning about convertible notes and stuff, and really I wanted to bootstrap it all the way. But I feel like some money right now will help me get things, for example, like Smart Start, where 60K, if you show some sort of third, like arm's length investment, and something like that will really help me. And when I mentioned student status, I do it because I feel like there's potential for people to, my story is better than someone who might be older than me doing the same thing. So I think that will really help us with the marketing aspect, as well as the fact that finding funding is much easier. And so, yeah, that's ask, and that's what I'm planning to do.
Any other questions? Yep.
Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you.
What is the shelf life of your product? I know you touched on it a little bit, but just curious.
Thank you for asking. Yeah. So in terms of the shelf life, we're currently at no preservatives, and in a dry, cool area, you can preserve it for up to 8 months. And to be honest, hard candy, like the shelf life, is very elongated because with preservatives you can do much more. But we wanted to make it something that was like for catering, right? Because you're going to use it and then it's done. So that's very compared to our competitors. For example, Lollyware as well as Bakey's with wheat spoons. So they have wheat spoons, they have seaweed candy, and they have chocolate. These will all be much higher in cost, and it will be a very short shelf life of up to 6 months.
Okay, any other questions? All right, I have one last question for you. So with your product, have you tried any distribution channels where they do sample product testing, and you can put your product into this and distribute it across Canada in sample boxes? There are different setups and shipments just to get the product out and doing a couple come back.
Right, so samples of our, that's really good for us because they're offering to drop ship it for us, basically. As long as we're able to slap Ben & Jerry's label on it, and we're okay with white labeling as long as we can say Ben & Jerry's has our product. And so actually the story about Ben & Jerry's is that I actually went to Unilever for a marketing competition. And then I went to them and I'm like, hey, I have a product that will help you with your vegan ice cream line for Ben & Jerry's. And they were immediately interested. And they said, we can see like marketing campaigns with this, special flavors, and even jumping up on a Kickstarter, we can offer liquid Ben & Jerry's ice cream to make with a Rolling Desserts, which is a company that makes rolling ice cream machines. So there's a lot of ways for partnerships here, and I think I really want to establish relationships like this.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, let's hear it. Thank you.
Thank
Okay, so our last and not least, Sun Care, Andrew.
Thank you. Testing. Okay. Okay, thanks for sticking around with us, guys. Hopefully we can get through this quickly and you can all enjoy your night. So, my name's Andrew Martinko. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sun Care, and we're a consumer healthcare company that's going to help people more safely enjoy the sun outside. We've got a color-changing sticker, right here. It doesn't detect your alcohol levels. It detects your sunscreen's protection, how exposed you are to the sun. So you can imagine it's summer in Canada, finally, only 2 months a year, but we'll take it. You're going outside, you're enjoying your time, you have your kid with you, but you come home at the end of the day and your child has a sunburn, even if you used sunscreen because you didn't understand how to properly protect them, because you didn't know when their sunscreen wore off. And overexposure to UV is quite a big problem, because one bad sunburn as a kid doubles your risk for skin cancer later. And skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in the world. 1 in 5 people in North America are going to get some form of skin cancer in their lifetime. And in Canada, it's about $500 million per year to treat it. And in the USA, that's about $8 billion per year to treat the different forms of skin cancer. The solution is simple. It's a color change that tells you when your sunscreen's protecting you and when it's no longer protecting you. Here, and I've got fun little designs we can make, right? So we can print anything. And how it works is it changes color based on your protection. So when you're protected from UV, it's one color. Over time, you do different activities outside. The spot turns purple when your sunscreen's worn off and you're now exposed. So that's the right picture. Now it's reversible. So if you put on more sunscreen, spot will change back to clear. So you'll know you're again protected. So you'll use one spot in the morning, and you'll use that same spot throughout the entire day. It'll reversibly change color to let you know when you're protected and when you're exposed. Again, we can print any design on this, so it's really attractive to kids. That's the first target market we're looking at. You can imagine down the line partnerships with major label brands or images, character designs, and stuff like that. The core technology that we have is multi-layered, I guess, to be punny. We have a lower level substrate that's hypoallergenic, so it's safe for your skin. We print on top of that the color changing ink, as well as the other inks that we do to make other colors there. The color changing ink will cover the image once it turns purple. And then the final layer is really the novelty that we have. That's the skin mimicking layer. So to talk about that, you can imagine that if I'm swimming and you're just lounging on the beach or something else, my sunscreen's coming off a lot faster than yours is, because I'm doing a different activity. I'm doing a more abrasive activity for my sunscreen. So my spot has to change color as a result, and it does. We've tested this extensively, both here and in Australia, the skin cancer capital of the world, to show that spot accurately mimics your skin, no matter the activity you're doing outside. And this is crucial because the competing products, they don't have this feature. There are products out there right now that say that they tell you when your sunscreen is no longer protecting you, but they don't have a skin mimicking layer, so they don't actually provide accurate information on your skin. Spot's giving you personalized protection. On the right, it's really interesting because L'Oreal has the MyUV patch product, which they're giving out for free right now on sunscreen bottles they sell. But again, without that skin mimicking layer, it's not giving you accurate protection, but we're really excited that a big company like L'Oreal is exploring this space. So the market opportunity for sunscreen, which is our complementary product, is about $9 billion globally. And to, I believe, Angela's point before about your wife and the umbrella, the most growing markets are actually Latin America and the Asian Pacific because of that beauty standard. They want to keep their skin light. They want to prevent the skin aging effects of overexposure, like wrinkling, skin darkening, and sunspots. So those are actually incredibly growing markets that we plan to target with future products after we focus on the kids market in Canada, Europe, and Australia. So the opportunity here is that people are not using enough sunscreen and they're not reapplying often enough. So if we can even double their sunscreen use, they're using twice as much sunscreen, they're purchasing twice as much sunscreen, the sunscreen companies are very happy, right? Really, we want to help people improve their sun protection behavior so they feel that they're getting more value from the product that they're already purchasing, which is a huge value add for those brands. Our goal is to be a B2B company. We want to sell white label or license to sunscreen brands or other partners. So we have a lot of opportunity to sell directly to the sunscreen brands to then leverage their marketing experience, their relationship with the customers, and we have a competitive advantage for them with our product. And we can also sell to summer events, festivals, camps, different things like that, which we can put their brands on and have that added value. We're patent pending. We have a PCT on this technology, and that's core on the foundational skin mimicking layer. And that's gone through initial review by the Worldwide Patent Office, and they said that the claims are novel, inventive, and applicable. So that's really great first indication that our foundational piece is protectable. And we have future technology developments underway too. we're not a one product company. That's why I put this slide up here. There's other technology, or there's other spaces where this technology could be used. UV sterilization is one we're currently exploring with Clean Slate UV, which is a startup company out of Toronto. They use a machine to kill all the bacteria using UVC light in devices, medical devices, smartphones, tablets, whatever. And we're helping them monitor that. We're helping users monitor that with a color change to show that their device was actually sanitized, and over time, when it needs to be sterilized again. And we've done 2 pilot programs with them so far, and we're looking to continue that forward. Spot's ready to launch. This is a picture from Australia. People, hopefully our last test manufacturing run today, actually. Everything looks good so far, and we're looking to launch in the next 6 months, first in Australia, then in Canada and North America. And we're a consumer product as far as the regulatory concern goes. Our path to market, we're currently testing our product in pilot programs in Canada. That helps us build a marketing story of how people use the product, how their sun protection behavior changes as they use the product. Then we go to Australia, do a sales launch B2C and B2B to focus on sales traction before finally we come back with a partnership with a sunscreen company for a launch in North America in 2018 summer. We manufacture in Southern Ontario, very close to home. Our cost of goods is about 15 cents per spot currently. We're looking to drop that down by hopefully half in 12 months by at least below 10 cents. At our current selling point, we have at least a 70% margin, selling around 40 to 50 cents to the B2B customers with a final retail sale expected around 80 to 90 cents for the actual customer paying in a store. Financial projections, we're looking to raise 2 rounds in the next 2 years, and then after that, we don't need to raise anymore. We're looking to break even about year 3 on this chart, and we have both profits from the sun protection space as well as the UV sterilization space going forward. Finally, our team. We're a team of nanotechnology engineers from the University of Waterloo, and Dr. Yuri Mobis is an advanced synthetic chemist from University of Toronto, helping us scale up our dye production. We've funded ourselves so far through different government grants pitch competitions. That's over $500,000 of that. Some of the key ones there are the Johnson & Johnson Innovation Quickfire Challenge. That's let us locate in J Labs at Toronto, which is a key partnership for us because Johnson & Johnson makes Neutrogena sunscreen. So they work very closely with us on the consumer testing we're doing, as well as making sure that we're fitting what they're looking for in an eventual partnership. Another major one is the Advanced Queensland Hot Desk Program. That's a $100,000 grant, which allowed us to launch in Queensland and really do some validation testing down there. And some of our key advisors are in the consumer packaged goods space, as well as the finance and marketing space, who have a lot of experience both in skin cancer as well as the consumer packaged good areas. And then finally, the ask. We're looking to raise about $550,000. We have 150 in already. We have 130 committed from Australian angel investors, and we're looking to finish that off with the remainder. That's I think very standard as far as a convertible note goes, with a $5 million cap, and yeah. That's it for me. Thanks, everyone, and I look forward to the feedback and questions.
Okay, great.
That was great.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that. Actually, that was a good point. No, honestly, like you're ready to go. I'm not sure why you're at PitchIt in quotations, because you get feedback. Like you're ready to go get it. You've already got investment. You should be sitting in front of angels, spending time in front of angels, and getting money, right? So that's one thing. As an Irish programmer who never goes outside, I like the idea that there's something that would protect me. Although I'm not sure I would want to wear a sticker. So this is like only for kids. So what do you got for adults? Like, because there's a couple of kids are floating around, but there's also adults kicking around as well. This is sort of all focused around the sort of let's protect our children. Is that? Yeah, I guess I'll have to make that a question. I want to know what the adult side is, and what are you going to do for the professional walking with a suit? You know, what are they going to wear? So, but yeah, go get some money. I think it's a great idea. Giddy up.
How you doing, Andrew? Good. How are you? Good. Good job. I liked it. I think you've covered all of the elements. You identified your key differentiator, and what we from the investment community like to say, you've created a moat to prevent your competitors from eating your dinner. A couple of points on the pitch. You talked about your competition isn't as accurate as you, but does it mean that they tell you that you're exposed to the sun earlier or later? Because if they tell you that it's exposed after 5 hours when you should have gone in at 3 hours, then that's a big thing. But if they tell you that you've been exposed after 2 hours and you go in, hey, no harm, no foul, right? You're still safe. So focus a bit more on it's important that it needs to be as accurate as you have made it to be, right? And how long does it last? Indicate that it'll last quite a while, but you don't want it to last too long, right? Because you want. So one day, he didn't answer. Just so mention that in your pitch also, and I like the whole launch in Australia. It's a great starting point. And I do think that Asian market is an interesting one. Right. So good job. Get the money.
Well, I think there's a consensus around your general readiness here. Some of the things that I wanted to point out that haven't been covered so far that I was pleased to see in the presentation was I saw a horizontal and a vertical growth strategy for the product that you explained. Don't see that very often. You spoke very effectively to unit cost, which made it really easy for me to calculate your marginal opportunity here. You spoke to the IP, which goes back to what Angela was saying about, a component of building a moat around barriers to entry, and also supported by the fact that you're thinking about things like not just doing B2C. You're doing licensing. You're partnering with the technology that you've produced and leverage other people's brands for that. Very smart, because it's cheaper for them to do that than to do it themselves, right? I know you were compressed for time, as is the venue. Would have liked to have seen the investment slide a little longer, and I think you tried to. I saw it so quickly, but it struck me like you were trying to show me or hint at what the cap table looked like. And I think that just made the print too small. I couldn't digest it fast enough. And guess what? This is like speed dating, right? When they want to see the cap table, that's good news. This is about getting your message out and getting the next date. And then you can give them all of that minutia, right? That's your DD process. That's not your pitch process.
Can I have a bit of that minute back I didn't take? I think you have huge potential to get kids really excited about sunscreen and sun care in a game's way of hide and go seek for this item and pieces, and you could play into that as a young father. I could finally turn it out of being a fight to put on sunscreen.
Okay.
Disney.
Who has questions? Okay.
That sounds good to me.
Hey, Andrew. I was just thinking, it's kind of like an idea / a question.
Yep.
So in terms of your future innovation cycles,
Yep.
Would it make sense to actually go into like an actual hardware / materials business? So like, I'm just going to share a quick idea with you. What if I was, or anyone was heading out and there was something on my, kind of like my door, like it's just like a print a sticker. And then if you kind of go that route, you can actually become a data / analytics company. So it's a different twist on the business model, was just like something to think about.
Yep. So definitely this is one step in the sun protection behavior change journey. It will do something. We don't know if it'll be enough, and it probably won't be enough because changing behavior is tough. So definitely from the app component, there's a side there that would be fairly easy to implement. Just, checking the UV index of the day and seeing, okay, a reminder to get your spot, get your sunscreen on. From the actual, okay, that's too late. From the actual integration of a hardware side, that's kind of down our ambitious product roadmap. I'm not sure whether that one's feasible just from a thin film electronics cost point, but we would love to have something in the sticker that could relay information back to your smartphone to track your UV exposure over time. That's definitely kind of on the 3 to 4 year timeline, if the consumers even want it, of course, but that's definitely something we've kind of planned for. So a great point, the integration of everything together to help people change their behavior better.
Cool. Any other questions?
Hi. As anybody with a Northern European background, this actually appeals to me greatly. So this is more kind of a consumer question, but I'm also neurotic.
Yep.
So I tend to research anything especially before I put it on my skin, before I consume it, kind of thing. I think a lot of people who would be using this product would be those kind of people. This might be a premature question since I haven't looked at your website or anything yet, but would there be layout where there's a lot of research that I can look into? I can kind of see how it all works, what kind of chemicals you'll be using, what kind of you gave a very quick kind of analysis of what it was you were using, but is there some more in-depth place I can look?
Yep, so we don't have it currently online because our patent hasn't been published online yet, but it will be in actually a couple days just based on the 18-month publication period. We have data to show that Spot's effective both internally, and by effective I mean the skin mimicking layer, matching your skin, effective both from our internal testing as well as through our testing in Australia. We've done a couple pilot programs down there with a professor, external research to validate that. We've done testing on all of the ingredients in our material to prove that they are safe for use. Everything is pharmaceutical grade or up, and we can provide that data. I guess in short, I do plan to put all of the research we've done to show the product's effective, as well as the safety data on it to show that yes, people can very easily see it works and it's safe, so they have no concerns there. It's a very good point. We want to be as transparent as possible.
Okay, any last questions? All right, thank you. I think Disney's going to be happy. Okay, so I guess, that actually wraps us up. We had our 4 pitches. I think they all went very well. We had 4 advisors. They all had some great things to say. We had some amazing talent in the room. I think everybody did a great job. So how about a round of applause for all of you guys for coming? For the advisors, come on, they were great. And the number 1, let's hear it for the pitch companies because these guys were awesome. We're going to do a quick draw. I believe the draw is for, one, it's for a Hard Boot t-shirt, which is awesome. The second draw is for to the Personal Branding Conference. All right, so let's do this. Early, pick one. Josh, there you go, buddy. Peter Jennings for the t-shirt. Peter? Not that Peter Jennings. All right, well, we'll let Peter know, so he's going to get that. All right, we'll do one more. Lynn, you can... Adele Khan. Yes, dude, you're going to the conference. Go. We'll set it all up. Okay, well, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Always a pleasure and an honor to meet all of you. If you do have a startup or you're interested in connecting, by all means, you can look me up on LinkedIn, which is jeffrey.podvin, I think. Maybe that's my email. But you can look it up online. Reach out if you want to send an email because you are interested in pitching or be part of the program. It's jeffrey@opn.ninja or info@opn.ninja. And yes, it's not ninja.com. It is actually opn.ninja. Just had to clarify that. But outside that, I want to thank our sponsors again for all their help. And I want to thank Brian, Laura, and the whole team for all their help. Chris, everybody that's been helping out tonight and throughout all our events. Thank you guys again for all your help. And you guys have a great night, network, mingle, have a fun time. Thank you.